Manny's a legend, and big props to him, and I tip your hat off to him because stepping up to fight a young, hungry,
champion,
prime world champion like Barrios. That's tough. I gotta say, when it comes to the boxing fight, that fight, I gotta pick Barrios. He's in his prime. He's a solid world champ. Way younger than Manny. Years ago.
Manny Pacquiao's return to the boxing ring at age 46 has ignited fierce debate across the boxing world. While some believe his legendary status gives him a real shot against Mario Barrios, others see the comeback as risky, even dangerous, for the aging icon. Opinions are deeply divided, with some praising Pacquiao's courage and legacy, and others questioning the integrity of the sport for allowing him to jump straight into a world title fight after years of retirement. Former British champion Spencer Oliver was blunt in his assessment, expressing serious concern about Pacquiao's return. Pacquiao looked a shell of his former self in his last fight against Yordenis Ugas, Oliver stated. He's had a long career. He turned pro in 1995. He's a great, but he's coming back now. And the biggest disgrace is that the WBC are sanctioning the fight for a world title. That's just wrong. Oliver criticized the decision-making process of the sanctioning bodies, pointing out,
fighting Pacquiao, man.
Yeah.
You know, a legend. What do you think Barrios needs to do in that fight against Pacquiao, man?
I feel like he has to keep Pacquiao on the outside. He has a height and reach advantage, so I feel like he just go out there and do what he's always done.
What's your prediction for that fight?
Mario Barrios victory.
Do you think it goes all 12 rounds?
I think he has what it takes to stop Pacquiao.
You surprised Pacquiao's coming out of retirement at 46?
I'm very surprised. I don't think anybody expected that. So
that Pacquiao hasn't fought in 4 years and therefore shouldn't be ranked at all, let alone given a title shot. It's a young man's sport, he continued. The inactivity and the way he performed in his last fight, I don't like it. Let's just leave it there. But the governing body should only sanction fights if fighters are ranked in the top 15. The fact that Pacquiao jumped the queue, that's wrong in so many ways. The system is broken with the WB.
You know, what's the worst case scenario? Someone gets seriously hurt. Someone has like life-altering injuries, and that could happen in boxing. We've seen this. Manny Pacquiao isn't immune to this. He's been knocked out. He's been hit. He's not Floyd, who has been hardly hit. Like, he's been knocked out cold. I thought when he got knocked out by Marquez, I thought he died. It was that scary.
Yeah.
Remember that one? So
I do.
Ultimately, I'm most surprised that if it hasn't been officially announced, if it lands in Nevada or California, I'll be very surprised and
see allowing that to happen. In response to the criticism, WBC President Mauricio Suleiman addressed the controversy surrounding Pacquiao's sudden leap in the rankings. We made a mistake in ranking him number 5, Suleiman admitted, acknowledging the confusion it caused among fans and media. Permission was granted, the fight was authorized, and we'll talk again on July 20th to see how it went. Promoter Frank Warren wasn't surprised by the direction the division is heading, but still expressed concern about the implications. It's not boxing doing it, it's the governing body. That rests with them, Warren said.
Just sad that he feels any reason or urge whatsoever. However, on the other hand, fighters fight. It's what they do. Hey, Jim Lampley was gone for 6 years. Was it stupid for him to choose to come back and fall a fight? Was it a risk? Was there a possibility that he could embarrass himself and fall on his face? Are there some viewers and listeners out there who think that's exactly what he did? Sure, that's possible. But I was back doing something I love and I was getting paid for it. So I understand why Manny wants to come back and do something he loves and get paid for it. But it's one thing to talk into a microphone when you've been a few years away and you're a little bit older. It's entirely a different thing to go in and hit and get hit. And he made ungodly, indescribable sums of money.
I don't want to stop anyone from making a living, from making money. But I'm very concerned with a guy, a great man, who's helped his people, who's fought for his people, who's lifted his people up, who's given away money to his people, probably too much. But he gave away money to his people that is in a position now that he has to fight at 46 in after 72 fights. I just think you're playing with fire. That's all I think. Yeah, you could move around, you could move around, navigate a little bit, say this, say that, but there comes to a certain point with everything that no matter how much you move the furniture around, you still know what room you're in. You still know what room. You can't fool yourself. And he's in a room where he's 46 years old with 72.
Foreman came back and won the title at 50 years old, so comebacks aren't unheard of. But going straight into a world title fight, I don't understand that. For me, it doesn't sit well with the sport. I've got to be honest, I don't agree with it. Warren also reflected on recent boxing trends, particularly the surge of fan service spectacles like Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. There was talk of Vladimir Klitschko coming back too, he added. But these guys are well past their sell-by dates. That's the truth. It doesn't do the business or the sport any good. Sad, Ricky Hatton, another respected former champion, also weighed in with skepticism. He compared Pacquiao's comeback to other recent headline-grabbing bouts that lean more on name recognition than competitiveness. It's boxing today, isn't it? Hatton said. If you can let a 58-year-old Mike Tyson fight Jake Paul, Manny Pacquiao coming back at 46 doesn't look too bad. But Tyson was fighting Jake Paul. Manny's fighting for a world title. Hatton found it especially concerning that Pacquiao is receiving a title shot with no warm-up bouts. How's he getting a world title shot after being retired for 6 years? Hatton asked. He's relying on past successes to walk straight into a title fight. How is that possible? When he retired, he should have been dropped from the rankings. Now he's back and suddenly ranked 5th? He was a hell of a fighter back then, but we don't know what he's like now. You'd think
rankings. Yeah, it's crazy, and like I said, boxing's a young man's game. He don't need boxing. Go and enjoy his life, enjoy his career. So yeah, I'm not a fan of it. It's one of those, like you said, you can't take anything from Manny Pacquiao from what he's done from boxing. Obviously that's why he's got in straight in for a world title fight. But yeah, it's like you said, the people should be in a position of work for that. But it's one of those. Manny's had one of the best careers, one of the best fighters, and for me, I'm not a fan of it. But it's Manny Pacquiao.
Gifted this world title shot.
It's Manny Pacquiao. He's a legend, Hall of Famer. But it's like, rules are rules, man, and I think it's just unfair for the guys that are in line for the title. I feel like that fight should be made, but not with the title on the line. It's kind of hypocritical with the sanctioning bodies to, put Pacquiao in that position. I get it; he's a legend, Hall of Famer, but he didn't earn the spot.
He's not winning this fight. Like, he's not. I'm sorry. As little as I think of Mario Barrios, who I think might be one fight away from retirement as well, at least he's been an active fighter. Yeah. Like Manny Pacquiao, 4 years removed from his last fight, at 46 years old, getting down to 147. I don't care how many training videos I see of him in Wildcard working with Freddie Roach. I don't care how many hill runs that he's on. There's nothing that's going to convince me that Manny Pacquiao is going to...
He'd have a couple of tune-ups first. But in boxing these days, money is everything. Yordenis Ugas, the last man to defeat Pacquiao, offered a unique perspective. According to Ugas, the bout could actually be a lose-lose situation for Barrios. If he wins, people will say Pacquiao was old, Ugas explained.
Getting back in the ring again for a world title fight.
Well, obviously, it definitely has to do with money, 1. 2, I think Manny Pacquiao, I think his C game is a lot better than anybody, a lot of guys' A game, even with the age. But you have to take into account the last time he stepped foot in that ring, man, against Ugas. He didn't look good. He was outmatched by, a fighter, a younger fighter. Barrios is no slouch. Barrios is a young fighter, bigger fighter, knows how to, control distance very well. Can punch a little bit. Like, he's no easy task for anybody in the welterweight division. And for Manny to come back after this long and to face a young guy like that is dangerous. And sometimes, these old legends, they got to get beat up several times before they...
Ask a simple question. And please, Manny, tell me the truth. Why? That's it. That's it. Why? Why are you coming back? And the warrior that Manny is, he's gonna be like, because I love to fight and I want to fight the best. And I've been watching boring fights and I want to come back and give a show again.
If he loses, they'll say he got beat by an old man. Barrios is taking a big risk. Ugas also contrasted the Pacquiao he faced with the one returning this year. When I fought Pacquiao, he was coming off a huge win. He had just beaten the top welterweight in 2019, he said. This time, it's different. Pacquiao is coming off a 4-year layoff and a loss. We'll see. It'll be a good fight, though. Australian fighter Tim Tszyu echoed the doubts about Pacquiao's chances. I can't see Manny winning. I'll be honest with you, he said. Nah, I can't see it. Age is a big factor, even though he's my favorite fighter and stuff like that. Mario Barrios is a beast. He's 30, in his prime, going for a world title. It's a hard challenge for Manny. Boxing legend Oscar De La Hoya also commented, though he remained more neutral. You're 46 years old. You have to remember that, De La Hoya said. So give your body some rest. Rest right now is Manny Pacquiao's friend. In between training, in between sparring sessions. There's no shame in taking a day off or two. Still, De La Hoya believes Pacquiao could make a good showing. He's experienced. He's obviously got the power. That never leaves you. The speed, I'm a little worried about. But I think it's going to be a good fight. Mario Barrios is a live dog. He's a world champion and no slouch. I wish Manny all the best. I'm not sure who's going to win. I really haven't seen Barrios, but I think Barrios's youth is obviously with him. Despite the widespread concern, some pros believe that Manny Pacquiao still carries enough greatness in his DNA to make this fight competitive. His ring IQ, timing, and ability to adapt might still pose a threat to a younger fighter like Barrios. But there's no doubt the stakes are high. For Manny, for Barrios, and for the future credibility of boxing's title structure. Only time will tell whether this is the beginning of another miraculous chapter in Pacquiao's storied career, or a harsh reminder that even legends can't outrun time.